everyone, and welcome back to the Cabral Concept. I'm Stephen Cabral, board-certified naturopathic doctor, and today on our Motivation and Mindset Monday, I'm so looking forward to speaking with you about a very special topic, one that I believe keeps people stuck in their current position in life. Now, again, your current position in life might not necessarily be a bad thing, but if you have greater goals for yourself, if you feel like you haven't reached your full potential, if you're trying to get well, lose the weight, just feel better, not so blah every single day, I'm telling you, this episode, this show will help with that. And that's because what I'm going to talk about today is to stop focusing on all the small stuff in life. We have so many different things that go through our minds each day. We're bombarded by advertisements. I mean, again, I get a new question every day about a new supplement that someone sees being advertised on Facebook. For the most part, they are literally just marketing online hype. There's this one guy now who actually just created a keto Facebook page, and he's bragging about he knows nothing, literally nothing about keto and how a keto diet works, but he already has thousands of members that they're now giving advice to and selling different programs on. This is literally what we're dealing with. Now, you don't have to be a licensed doctor or a chiropractor or acupuncturist to give people information. I'm not saying that at all. There are so many great health coaches out there that we're lucky to have, great personal trainers that we're lucky to have that teach us about fitness, that teach us about nutrition, that teach us about staying healthy and fit. However, there's a lot of online marketers out there who see things that are popular and they're just looking to make a quick gut, like with different parasite protocols and this and that, and they're just trying to scare you into doing certain things, but they're doing it from only the intention of making money, and that's too bad. So what I'm saying is this: sometimes it's these distractions, it's this jumping back and forth between all sorts of different topics and all sorts of different details that really just is called paralysis by analysis, that literally we have so much to think about, we do nothing. And when we do nothing, we of course don't move forward towards our goals, which then if we don't move forward towards our goals, there's this dissonance, a cognitive dissonance in our mind saying, we should be there. We should have more in life. We should have reached our potential, but we haven't. This then makes us upset. It makes us anxious. It can make us depressed if it goes on long enough. But the real truth of the matter is this, is that each day we wake up, we get a new 24 hours. There's at least 60 minutes in that day for every one of us, because we can make it if we want to, that we can start working towards our goals. But we can only do so much in one given day, which is why we can't focus on the small stuff. We'll talk about what that small stuff is in a moment, but I'll tell you this. Sometimes we keep posing questions to ourselves. We ask others questions. We keep asking for more information on a particular topic instead of actually going forward and doing the work. So sometimes I believe that focusing on the small things is actually a much needed psychological distraction that then allows us to further procrastinate. So what I mean by that is we sometimes look for these excuses like, oh, well, we haven't done enough research yet. We need to look further into this before actually doing anything. Now, some of that is true. Some of that does matter. But there comes a point where you should not be further researching things, especially if you're not the expert in that topic. For example, when you're setting up a business or you're setting up whatever it might be, yes, you need to know about it, but you only need to know enough to know which expert then to hire or which book to follow, which protocol to follow. Because I always give the example, no matter how good I am or could think about taxes, I'm still going to be light years away from what my accountant knows. And again, I know very little about taxes, but I know what to look for and who can help me, and then I hire that expert. I then stay out of the way. Because if I just focused on what about this, what about this, what about this, I wouldn't then be focused on all the important things that I need to do, and I wouldn't allow that expert to do what he needs to do to guide me, whatever it might be. And again, that's just one example. We have many, many examples, and I'm going to give you 3 specific ones in a moment. But I also want to say is that sometimes when we feel the need to know every single little detail about something before actually getting started on a plan, it causes greater anxiety. Because what happens is we come up with more if-then based situations, meaning like, if I do this and then this happens, well, what do I do then? Well, that thing never happened yet. Worry about that when it does happen. I see this all the time in health practices that I work with. So I mentor, I help a lot of other health practitioners. I help them get started. I help teach them certain protocols so that they can help even more individuals. And I'll be doing a lot more of that in the future as well. Because here's the thing. If I help let's say 30 people or so a week, whatever it might be. But I can help 30 practitioners who can all then help 30 people a week. It's exponentially more greater benefits to, I believe, the world. It's more service. But the other thing is this. A lot of practitioners, a lot of people who are following those practitioners' protocols are getting so locked up in what could go wrong that most likely 9 out of 10 times will never go wrong, that it prevents them from actually moving forward. So again, they're focusing on the small stuff, which I would call the macro. I mean, they're focusing on the micro, those little individual things that all do matter, but not until you start getting the macro moving, the larger levers moving. It's those larger levers that actually create the change. So although you do need a plan to get started, it's just a plan. That's what we have to keep in mind. You can't know everything that will happen to you once you get moving on the direction towards your goals. The best you can do is make an educated guess, and that's it. Everything else will transpire once you've actually gotten started on that plan. And at that time, then you will recalibrate. Then you will make your adjustments. No one ever said getting to your goals is going to be a straight line. It's more like a zigzag pattern up on a direct scale. So yes, you should be moving upwards and onwards towards your goals, but it is absolutely not a direct line. It is some zigging and some zagging, and you won't know where to zig and where to zag until you actually begin. So if you get locked up in every detail, I'm telling you, you're only holding yourself back because you can't know everything there is to know. Let's give you a few examples right now. So, for example, if you're not exercising right now, and you say, oh, well, I need to find the perfect personal trainer, the perfect online workout, the perfect whatever it might be. All you need to do is this. Are you walking 10,000 steps per day? Yes or no? If you're not, you're doing that now. That's your first step. You don't need to know. You don't even need to get the right sneakers. Again, some people will literally try to figure out what's the best pair of sneakers. They will go to a place that specializes in your gait, and they will find out how you walk and then give you the right pair for that. And then if the store is closed, well, then they can't buy a pair of sneakers or the specialist isn't in, whoever it might be, and that stops them from ever walking, which is, in my opinion, I understand where they're coming from, but ridiculous when you step from outside of yourself. Now, again, it takes one to know one. I used to be the master procrastinator, and I know all of these specific things and all of these specific cheat techniques we use to procrastinate, but now I catch myself when I'm doing that, and I do my best to then move forward, to move past that, understanding I don't need to be perfect in order to get started. So what I'm saying is this. You want to start exercising? Great. Start walking. You can walk in your dress shoes. You can walk in whatever you want. You need to get started walking. And then after that, are you doing bodyweight exercises? You can do that. You can follow a YouTube video. Don't follow the most intense, the craziest one out there. Do that. Are you looking to join a gym? Find the one that's closest to where you live, at least within a 10-minute drive. Because if it's 20 minutes away, 30 minutes away, the likelihood that you use it is going to go down. Find something closer to you where you're most likely to use it. Now, the other one, 30 minutes away, they might have more specialized equipment. Sure, make maybe a one-time-a-week appointment to go there. Make an appointment, remember, so it's in your calendar. But if not, just find one that's close to your house. You don't need the best equipment at a gym. You need your body weight. You need some dumbbells. You need some cables. And, of course, you could work with a personal trainer that's NASM certified, NSCA certified, that's ACM certified, one of the top certifications. You could do that if you wanted to. But just get started first. Again, all of those other things can come down the chain. That's great. Walk, bodyweight exercises, do some upright bike if you want, do some sprints outside up a hill, and get moving. That's basically it. Don't sweat the small stuff about which gym has what equipment. Don't sign a year contract. You can switch if you're not satisfied after a couple months, but at least you have a couple months under your belt. A second example is this. When you are looking for or working, well, let's put it this way. You've decided to make the investment in yourself, and you're going to hire a personal trainer, a life coach, a nutritionist, a functional medicine doctor, practitioner, whoever it might be, acupuncturist, whoever it might be. You say, you first need to do the research on that person, right? Find out if they're a good match for you. Have they worked with people like yourself? What's their general vibe? What's their philosophy? Does that meld well with you? Does it mesh well with you? And if so, good. Meet with them. But once you meet with them, you run the labs, whatever it might be, or you're with a personal trainer and they develop the plan for you. Now, you put your trust in this person. You chose them. They were the best match for you. You feel that way. You still believe that. Don't question then every single thing that they give you through a plan. This is what I hear all the time when I'm mentoring a lot of other doctors and health practitioners and personal trainers, that they have an issue with compliance and whatever it might be. Remember, you made the investment. You're paying these people money because you trust them. You believe them. If you go and you research every single thing that they said, you still will not have read the amount of books that they read, have the education they have, and have the experience, which counts for a lot, working with hundreds of other people just like yourself. All of that matters. You reading a couple articles on Google does not equate to reading dozens of books on a subject. Remember, Dr. Google allows us to read a couple hundred or 1,000 words, but that doesn't make us an expert in the topic. There are so many if and thens. There's so many contraindications that might come with what you just read. Like, for example, just the other day, I got sent a review for a nutritional supplement saying like, oh, I think you'll like this nutritional supplement. Should I be using this for adrenal-based issues because I know that you like this company? Just because I like a company doesn't mean I like every single nutritional supplement that they put out. And so what I wrote back was that this particular adrenal-based supplement is not indicated for you. It's not indicated for you because this one contains a specific herb when used that lowers cortisol levels. So that's great for some people in the alarm stage of adrenal-based stress, but for someone in true adrenal fatigue, exhaustion, we're not looking to lower cortisol levels any further. They've already been lowered. We need to now boost the body's ability to correctly regulate the HPA axis. Once we do that, once we can control that, we can then better balance the body. So what I'm saying is this: simply take your time to find the person that you believe is the right mix for you or the right meshing with you, but then you can't focus on every small detail of the plan. You need to get started on the plan, and I believe that once you get started on that plan, then as you move forward, you might come across things that then you need to bring up questions on, meaning like if there are some type of symptoms that you're feeling, then of course bring that up to your personal trainer, nutritionist, doctor, but you need to get moving forward on that plan. Okay, one more example is this, because this comes up all the time, and I get this quite a bit on the Cabral House Call. If you're trying to lose weight, you don't need to know your macros. Meaning this: if you're trying to lose weight, the first thing you do does not need to be counting how much protein in grams you take in, carbohydrates and fats. It's not necessary. It's so far down the line, if ever necessary, that it simply is not worth your time to focus on. Here's why. If you're trying to lose weight and you haven't even switched over from having all of your beverages be just water or water and lemon or herbal teas, that's your first step. Forget about looking at how many grams of protein, carbs, and fat you're taking in. Your second step would just be eliminating the processed food. Focus on eating all whole foods. Once you eliminate all the processed foods, you're going to see such an enormous benefit. Very rarely do I need to have anyone in my practice start counting their macros? And macros are the amount of carbohydrate, fat, and protein grams that you're taking in per day. Some people say that you should take in 50% carbs. Some people, then it would be like 25% protein, 25% fat. Some people say 40 carbs, 30 protein, 30 fat. I mean, you could just come up with all sorts of different scenarios. But the truth is this: most people never need to look into that at all. You follow how I'm talking about, predominantly plant-based, focused on your veggies. Make sure you're getting 1 to 2 cups per meal. You're getting 1 to 2 cups of berries per day. That you're satisfying your body with good quality fiber, which we'll be talking about a lot more tomorrow. And we'll be talking about that, yes, tomorrow. But also, we'll get back on track with today's question. Is that when you're looking at the macros, so you're actually looking at all these different, just measuring everything in your diet, what you're not doing is focusing on the big picture. That's what I'm trying to get at right now. Today, I want you to take one big takeaway, is that you need to focus on the macro. You really do. You need to stop over-analyzing everything, and you need to get moving forward on a plan. Myself included, we can procrastinate forever. We can come up with a million different reasons why. I want you just to follow these basic 5 steps right now. I want you to first open your mind. a lot of things I said today you're going to agree with and not agree with, because you're going to believe that you need to do the research, that you need to do this, that you need to do that in order to be successful. And I will partly agree with you. You need to do it initially, and then you need to let it go. At some point, you need to let go and move on with the plan. If not, you will have that paralysis by analysis, and you will be continually stuck day after day, week after week, month after month, and year after year, exactly where you are right now, and questioning why you haven't achieved your goals. After you've opened your mind, to just say then, okay, I can't sweat the small stuff. I need to move on. I need to follow a plan. I need to follow big picture. You can then find the plan, the coach, the book, the protocol, whoever it might be, that's going to then give you the plan to take on your own, or that's going to work with you on a one-on-one basis, whatever it might be. And then follow that plan. Follow that plan as a third step for 6 weeks, 6 to 12 weeks. You can't follow a plan for a week or two and then wonder why it's not working for you. You need to give your body time to rebalance. And if this is more of a relationship, a finance, a career one, you need to actually put in the work to then plant the seed to then actually see it grow. That takes time, and it takes at least 6 to 12 weeks. If it's nutrition-based, if it's weight loss-based, if it's wellness-based, you will see results within 6 to 12 weeks if it's the right plan for you. And that comes to step number 4. Gauge your results, okay? Gauge the results and then make the adjustments as you go along. Remember, focus on the macro, but then if things start to go a little off, it doesn't mean throw out the whole plan. It means then make those minor adjustments as needed. And the 5th step is just continue moving forward. Repeat the process. Make adjustments as needed. But as always, you need to actually be in the game to win the game. You need to have goals. You need to have a plan that's going to get you to that goal in order to hope to achieve whatever it is that you want in life. So hopefully this made sense. And what I'd like you to do is, if this does help at all, if you know someone else that's struggling right now, please do feel free to share this episode with them. Thank you again, everyone, for tuning into the Cabral Concept. I really do appreciate each and every one of your listens. Thanks for just tuning in, and now that it's March, believe it or not, spring is right around the corner. And spring has always been known as the #1 time of the year to detox your body from everything that's accumulated over the winter. And although I do quarterly detoxes myself, spring is always the season I do my longest detox to help with allergies and the heat accumulated through the cold Boston winter. So this month, I'd love to have you join me in our spring detox so that you too can enjoy your healthiest spring and summer ever. March is also going to mark the last month I can offer the quarterly Dr. Ball Detox at $100 off. This package used to allow you to literally buy 3 Dr. Ball Detoxes and get 1 free. Unfortunately, the rising cost of manufacturing a high-quality functional medicine supplement formula, along with increased shipping fees, will no longer allow for this huge discount. But for one more month, I did want to give you the opportunity to purchase 3 Dr. Ball Detoxes, which equals my 21-day detox, and then get another 7-day detox completely free. For this limited time offer, simply go to stevencabral.com/store, and you'll see a bar across the top of the website linking to this private offer page. Thank you once again, and I look forward to getting healthier and detoxifying with you this spring.